How y'all are this afternoon? This is your buddy George Jones over at Alberga Gun Range with my next installment on guns over 100. 100-year-old firearms or older that still work. So let's give it a try here. What do we got for guns over 100? This time around we have the Gewehr 98. The 1898 version of the Mauser rifle. This is a Gewehr 98. This is a pretty interesting gun, and it's long. It's as long as a fence post. Let's tell you the truth. This is the rifle that the German military fielded in World War I. This was the most modern, up-to-date rifle at the time for the Germans. The 1903 Springfield, which copied the Mauser action, was basically, I feel like, a better rifle than this rifle, but it in fact is the rifle that carried them through. The Gewehr 98 is most distinguishable in my judgment by two things. One is the overall length of the gun. Now, I don't exactly know how long this barrel is, but it's long. The other thing is this thing, which has become known as the roller coaster sight. Okay, and it basically has, it's interesting, it has the graduations for the ranges on the side of the sight raft, and then you push these two buttons right here and push it forward, and there it goes, and it also has them underneath. Okay, it has a standard notch rear sight in this guarded trough and a standard barleycorn style front sight with all the appropriate bands and so forth. Now, the correct sling to go on this rifle is actually of the quick release Sling Swivel design, which is similar to a modern Uncle Mike's quick release Sling Swivel. It would attach back here, okay, and then it would be semi-permanently attached to this ring. And we also have this gizmo right here, this little hook. And the purpose of that hook was you had a wire fitting on your sling, so when you had your sling not in use, rifle racked or so forth, you could pull that wire fitting up and snap it in here, and that would give you, you know, tension on the sling and keep it from flopping all over the place and not being handy and easy to handle in tight spaces. There should be a cleaning rod in this, and the cleaning rod is of the two-piece design where two soldiers would get together and put their cleaning rods together and have one good cleaning rod for the two guns. And our bayonet lug is still in place on here. And all the bands and everything are in place. Everything's just exactly like it would be, except it doesn't have the cleaning rod, doesn't have a bayonet, doesn't have the sling. So we're going to try this gun. I'm shooting it cold. I've never shot it before, but I've looked through it and make sure we don't have a barrel obstruction here. Look through this gun, see what kind of a bore it's actually got in it. I can see a bore in there, and there's no barrel obstruction. Let's give it a try. Standard 8mm Mauser bolt that you see on everything up until the end of World War II. And like that. So the first thing we're going to try out of it is we're going to try it here at 125 yards, and I'm going to try my favorite brand of obsolete ammunition, PPU. I hate to sound like an advertisement for PPU. They're not paying me anything to talk about them, but doggone it, PPU is, you know, if you got obsolete cartridge gun, you need to be looking for PPU ammo. It's a lot cheaper than normal, that's for sure. We're going to put 5 rounds of 196 grain, and this is soft point in here. I'm going to run that through there and see how it shoots. Get me some ear mufflers on. This old smoke pole don't blow up on me. Alright, she's locked in battery, ready to go. Let's give it a try, see how it goes. Okay, just want to make sure it didn't blow up. Didn't want to have my face in front of the bolt and take the tide to come out there. All right, Now let's get serious. Now we know it works. 14-inch steel disc, 125 yards with a 115-year-old Mauser rifle. Whammo! Woo! This is a good shooting gun right here. Or I shoot it good, one of the two. Struck sight at 0 elevation. Wham! This baby's got the mustard for as old as she is. Let me tell you something. I don't know whether you... Yeah, I'm an old guy. I probably go for the madam instead of one of the girls, just to tell you the truth. Right over the top of it. You gotta miss there once in a while. You don't want people thinking I'm too good. Here we go. Bam! Yeah. All right, let's try some of this old Eastern European Cyrillic labeled ammunition that we know is 8mm. Comes in a 15-round box. I don't know, might be Yugoslavian or who knows. But it does come with stripper clips, which is nice. Put that stripper clip in there just like that. Run them guys in there. Now here's the thing, on a Mauser you don't have to pull the stripper clip out. If you're in a hurry, all you got to do is slap that somebody shut. Sorry guys. Okay. And you're ready to go again. Or not. All right, let's see if we find one that runs. That hit that one pretty good too. There's a reason why you should always pick PPU in this kind of gun anyway. That was a miss. Oh. Oh. Another one. Another 8mm bullet to pull. Now I'm getting tired of this. Hey, I got a great idea. Let's get some ammo out here we can shoot. How about some Remington cord lock, 170 grain. I had some of this laying around at the house in the box it give out. So I just put the end plastic box in a plastic bag and stuck it in there. Remington cord lock, 170 grain. Let's see how it shoots American commercial ammunition compared to everything else. And don't shoot that old Checknick ammunition with a hoot, because you can't get it to light. There we go. All right, here we go. It shoots it pretty good too. I didn't hit the disc, but yeah, a little bit high, a little bit high. Let's use a little. We're in Kentucky. Let's use a little Kentucky windage and elevation here. Hit it. All right, big old cumbersome, clunky gun, but it shoots pretty good considering how old it is. It shoots best with PPU, seems like to me. Yeah, looks like to me it shoots best with PPU. But it does shoot. It's amazing. It's amazing to me how long these guys will actually last. I mean, really, it's amazing to me. I mean, this guy is a museum piece on his very best day, but it's still an effective weapon. And you know, you probably wouldn't want to be in a firefight with a bunch of guys with AKs and you armed with this, unless they were hiding from you on the other side of a cinder block wall, and then you could probably take care of them pretty good. Grandpa's old deer rifle. I'm not sure where this gun come from. It's on the Sailor It's on the Sailor collection. I'm thinking this come out of that box of crazy Mausers, but I don't know. This is a very nice rifle to be as old as it is. This rifle was probably manufactured. There's some date codes and so forth on this thing that'll tell you when it's actually made, but I know they didn't make any of these things after 1918. You know, so it's at least 102 years old if it's not 110 years old. I think they adopted this gun in 98 or 99, you know, so it's at least, I would say, 105 years old. They're just an outstanding old gun. You see them in every type of condition there is. You see them from horrible condition to beautiful condition, and this one is in mid-grade condition. The bore is a little dark, but the rifling is still defined. The action is still tight. Today, this gun is worth probably, well, World War I reenacting has really taken off in the last few years, and reenactors snap these things up, and you know, that helps drive the prices up to collectors just like everybody else. I'm saying this gun's worth $250 to $350 just like it sits. It would be worth a little bit more if it had the original cleaning rod with it. It would be worth a little bit more if it had even a replica but correct sling to go on it. There's very little rust on it. It's all gone to patina. This gun was probably blued at one point or another, because if I remember reading the text correctly, the receivers on these guys were in the white when they came out of the factory. So it's either gotten enough patina on it that it's turned it black, or at some point it's been blued and turned black. But really nice gun, really good shooter. These guys are worth quite a bit of money, and probably more than... Where am I at? Well, I'm up to 12 minutes, so I'm going to tell you a quick story. The first time I ever saw a Kavir 98 was my dad. I was about 10 years old. It was about 1970 or somewhere along in there. I think I was about 10 years old. My dad came in with one of these things from work one night and was getting ready to go deer hunting with it, and had some full metal jacket ammunition for it, and he was filing the ends of the bullets off. And my mother came into the living room where we were at and said, "It's deer season, not Comanche season." And I'm not sure what that meant, but I told that story at a reunion a couple of years ago, and you know. So anyway, that's the first time I ever saw a Kavir 98. I didn't have any idea what it was at the time. You know, that's the gun that led me to fall in with Old Man Carell in Somerset, who started teaching me about makes, models, designs, and purposes of firearms in his collection. You know, and that led me to Glenn Broyles and Jimmy's Trading Post and Wilbur Alverson, you know, and was the beginning of my firearms education. That's the thing that got me started, was the curiosity about that gun and knowing where he had gotten it. So I went to that man and asked him, and that's what got me started on the road to where I am now. Well, all right then. Like, share, commentate, and subscribe. Y'all have a blessed 2A day. Leave me no dollar in the Patreon bucket if you want to, and if you don't want to, I'll keep right on making content for you. Y'all be careful during this little danger that we have. Everybody has capability of getting sick from this until we come up with a vaccine. So use your standard precautions. Keep them paws washed. Don't get into big crowds. Wear a mask when you need to. Stay at home when you can. I've got a lot of reloading done. I'm going to tell you what, I'm just about out of reloading supplies. And, you know, find you something to do around the house when you don't have to be out. You know, I have to be out sometimes. I'm the chief deputy to an elected official. There's times when I have to be out. But like that, use caution in these times, and it's all going to get better. This too shall pass. God bless y'all, and we'll see you when we see you now.